no question. Being that I haven't received a recommendation from traffic study, we can close the public hearing tonight. Okay.
That's not, it just,
And now it just-
mention that.
Okay.
You know, that we, you know, that I would reference that,
Okay.
you know, at some point, and then we can.
Yeah, I don't have your number.
No, it's coming in July, you're gonna miss it.
Oh, I thought it was being presented tonight.
So we all
I
set?
couldn't get them done before last Thursday.
Call the special meeting of the municipal council for Tuesday, June 27th, 2017 to order. I'd ask you please stand and join in the salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Again, if you have a telephone or similar electronic device, if you would please silence it, as it doesn't interfere with our broadcast to other parts of the city. Again, this is a special meeting that has been called to wrap up a number of things that for the end of one year and the beginning of, before we move into the beginning of the next year. So there will be a combination of some aspects of committee meetings, primarily meeting later, as well as a public hearing. At this time, I would ask Mr. Withers, City Clerk, to read the notice for tonight's special meeting, please.
June 13th, 2017, to the members of the Municipal Council from Frank Cook, Council President. Councilors, by authority of Article 2, Section 2-7C of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter, I hereby call a special meeting of the Municipal Council as follows. Date, Tuesday, June 27th, 2017. Time, 7 p.m. Place, Council Chambers. The purpose is to vote on any matters related to fiscal year 2017 and any other matters / other legal matters that may come before the council. CC Mayor Kevin J. Dumas.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is the public hearing that has been scheduled for this evening. I would ask that you read the notice for the special meeting, please.
Yes, it's a
I see
public
the public
hearing relative to the following matter, that a stop sign be installed at Gregory Drive and Essex Street. This was new business brought in by Ms. Hegney.
Okay, thank you. So on the public hearing, we first ask if there's anyone here to speak in favor, then those who are in opposition, then those who are neither for nor against. We ask that you come to the podium at the appropriate time, and we need your name and address for the record, and any comments be directed to the council as a collective body and not to any one particular councilor. Let's see, at this point, if there's anyone here who would like to speak in favor, now would be the appropriate time to come forward. Thank you.
It's not that easy for me to get up and down.
Good evening.
Good evening to all of you. I'm here to speak in favor of the stop sign at the end of Essex.
Can I have your name and address?
I'm sorry. Official name Lawrence Qualia, 30 Gregory Drive here in Attleboro.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. And you are in support of this?
I'm in support of it. Purpose being, I have some maps from the internet in my pocket. You may not need to see them, but my house is directly across from the end of Essex where it meets Gregory Drive, which is a round, if you will, street, curved street. Some of our own neighbors, as well as others that visit the section that I live in, have a tendency to use that kind of as a round sweep. This will actually become an inconvenience for me because I will have to stop before I drive across Gregory Drive, which is probably 20 feet wide, to get into my driveway. But I think it's more important to have a stop sign there because now, as the years have gone on, we've seen young children grow and become adults in that neighborhood, and now we have a new bevy of children in the area that walk the streets. Again, they have a tendency to sweep around that corner. If I could find some way to bid for a stop sign coming the other way, that would even be better, but I can't see how the city could do that. I even thought of putting a large speed bump there, but I guess we can't do that either. But again, it would behoove the neighborhood to have a stop sign at the end of Essex, so that would slow people down from sweeping that corner. As one night, a couple of winters ago, we had someone with their vehicle land on our hedges at the edge of our land. requiring AAA to tow them off our bushes. In any event, that's my purpose in speaking in favor of it, and I'd like to hope that the city council will see that.
Okay, are there any questions for the speaker? Councilor Hagman.
Thank you, Mr. Crowley, for coming in this evening. I did send our administrative assistant pictures of the neighborhood. I did go down and take pictures to send them before the public hearing closed, so that way they could be brought into the record to show the corner. I did different angles. So thank you for coming in this evening. It means a lot when the residents do come in to back up why the stop sign, that it's not just the counselor that wants it, but there are residents who have asked for it. So
Very
thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Any other questions?
Oops, I'm sorry.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak in favor? Is there anyone else here to speak in favor? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone to speak in opposition? Is there anyone here to speak neither for nor against? Anyone to speak neither for nor against? Hearing none, Councilor Parika, I know this before your committee. Do you see any need to continue this public hearing open?
I do not.
At this point, no? Did you want to reference about the traffic
I
commission,
would,
please?
thank you. So, thank you also for coming in this evening. We had a traffic study commission meeting last week. I made an error with information that I gave to them. So they were not able to issue a recommendation at that time. In addition to that, they have recessed for the summer. However, I'm more than happy to send an email to the chairperson, and there's the potential that we could meet in August, so that prior to our August meetings, I would have their recommendation and we could move forward so something like this could be installed prior to school starting in the fall.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, good. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, again, based on the testimony received and the recommendation of the chair, the additional information regarding the Traffic Study Commission, I am going to declare this public hearing closed. This matter now goes back to the Transportation and Traffic Committee, and then they will be coming out with a recommendation at some point. So I do want to thank you all for coming in on this issue tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, if anybody here has business with the Zoning Board of Appeals, that meeting is going on the other side of the room at this particular time. Okay? So that does conclude all of our public hearings for this evening. So at this time, we will go on to a reading of the mayor's communication.
June 27th, 2017. Dear municipal councilors, I respectfully submit to your honorable body the city's capital improvements program for fiscal year 2018 through 2022. We look forward to working with the municipal council in the coming weeks to review the data as submitted. Furthermore, I hereby request your honorable body to hold a public hearing at the appropriate time. Copies in your packets.
Thank you. Capital Improvements and City Development Committee. Councilor Conti, since this is in your committee, do you want to call for a public hearing for July 18th as our next meeting?
I think I would prefer for it to occur in September.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So then I won't call for any date at this time, I'll just wait, and you can talk about it in committee, and then you can make a motion at some point and vote it out of committee.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good to me. Thank you.
In the true spirit of cooperation and in good governance, I would like to extend an invitation to all municipal councilors to personally meet with me to address any concerns and suggestions regarding the fiscal year 2018 budget. It is important to keep the lines of communication open between our branches of government and ensure that dialogue continue on all matters of city government, just as in our quarterly updates to you. I value your input and will remain open to your thoughts and suggestions. Please feel free to reach out to my office at any time. Sincerely, Kevin J. Dumas, Mayor.
Tim, the other communications, please?
Yes, I have two. The first one is an application for a 2017 Hawkers and Peddlers license from Adam D. Pelagi, 389 Benefit Street, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, 02861.
License committee, please?
And the second one is an application for a 2017 Hawkers and Peddlers license and to ring a bell from Shauna O'Brien, 1 Medbury Road, North Attleboro, Mass. 02760.
License committee, please, and Vice President Denley, do either of these require a public hearing?
They do not, but if I may just for a moment.
Yes.
I will be absent during the July meetings,
Okay.
and I know that my vice chair will be also absent during the July meetings.
Okay.
So Mr. Conti will be acting license chair,
And I'll be
along
there
with
Yeah.
President Cook. Neither of these require public hearings. I won't be licensed chair, so just go through the backup material, and as long as it's good, please feel free to push them through in July because they need the licenses to operate their businesses. And I apologize for my absence. So thank you, Mr. Conti.
A moment I've been waiting for 8 years.
To be licensed chair?
Now you have a chance, okay? You didn't have a comment on that, right?
No,
Even if it's new,
Very
it
good,
doesn't
thank you.
require.
All right, thank you very much. And so that's it for the other communications, the mayoral communication. At this time, again, we do have the regular committee meetings that we have scheduled for this evening. Before I ask for a recess, is there anybody whose committee meeting is being canceled for this evening? You just raise your hand and let me know. All right, hold on a second. So we have, we go around. So ordinances is canceled. Zoning and land use is canceled. Transportation and traffic is canceled. Budget, I know I didn't say that, I'm just trying to see if it's, a budget is canceled. And public safety is canceled also?
Yeah.
So that'll be 1, 2, so about half the committees are actually meeting tonight. So what we're going to do, in a moment, I'll make a motion for a recess.
It was public works.
No, public safety.
Public safety.
Public safety
Okay,
canceled,
all right.
public works has one.
All right.
So what we're going to do in a moment is I'm going to be making a motion for recess. I'll give up the chair, we can do the various committees can meet, then we'll come back and we'll do the committee reports. And then the new business items, and then call it an evening. So this time I would entertain a motion for a recess for the purpose of the committee meetings.
Second.
Thank you, the motion is in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes at 7:15. We are at recess for the purpose of the committee meetings.
I'd like to call Public Works to order at 7:15. I have one item of business this evening, and I'm happy to say that I'm putting money back into an account. I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $2,700 from account 3323-599000 backwash holding tank, other financing uses, to account 61004-499000, Water Enterprise Fund, other financing sources, to close the backwash holding tank fund because the auditing department has been notified by acting water superintendent that this project is complete.
Second.
Thank you very much. It speaks for itself. The project is complete, had leftover monies, as he does quite often, because sometimes he puts in a contingency just in case something happens. So I'm happy to say we're adding $2,700. Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. I would like to call for Public Works to be adjourned at 7:17.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Call Personnel and Human Services to order at 7:19 PM. I have three quick things from the docket of June 20th, 2017. I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $725 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1541100-511-000 Council on Aging Salary and Wages to pay Council on Aging salaries for the remainder of fiscal year 2017.
Second.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That's pretty self-explanatory. The $725 short in that account. There were some earlier transfers earlier in this fiscal year to cover salaries because there were some employees out, and this is a result of that, and they need $725 to cover the year. Any other questions, comments, problems? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, motion passes. Next, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $3,500 from account 1630100-511000 recreation salary and wages to account 1630100-521020 recreation lights and power to pay invoices for lights and power for the remainder of fiscal year 2017.
Second.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So this is pretty self-explanatory. He needs more money to pay the electric bills for recreation. Any questions, comments, problems? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to transfer $1,500 from account 163-0100-511-000 recreation salary and wages to account 163-0100-546-012 recreation supplies, recreation grounds to purchase supplies to replenish stock used for spring spruce ups.
Second.
Thank you. Again, Dennis sent us a communication regarding why he wanted the $1,500. I talked to him today, and it's, as he put here, to replenish the stock for what they did in the spring. Any questions, comments, problems? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. That concludes business for Committee on Personal and Human Service. Call for an adjournment at 7:21.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We are adjourned 7:21.
I'd like to call to order the Committee on City Property and Claims at 7:20. 7:21. All those, okay, all those in favor?
You have to read it.
Oh, forgive me. I have one motion from the docket of June 27th, 2017. I entertain a motion in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to approve the mayor's request to accept the donation of 30 Dell flat screen monitors to the school district from Castle Booze Associates as donations to the City of Attleboro.
Second?
Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. That is the only motion that I have this evening, so I'd like to call an adjournment at 7:22.
Second.
In favor?
Second.
Aye.
Oh, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So we are adjourned at 7:22, and that's it.
I'd like to call the Committee on Licenses to order at 7:22. I have two motions tonight. From the docket of June 20th, 2017, I entertain a motion to approve the application for a 2017 Hawkers and Peddlers license and to ring a bell from Paul Piatelli, doing business as Dell's Lemonade, 80 North Washington Street, North Attleboro, Massachusetts, 02760.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Perica. Are there any questions or comments regarding this? No, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Second motion I have is also from the docket of June 20th. I entertain a motion to approve the Friends of Capron Park Zoo's request for a waiver to serve alcoholic beverages on city property at the Capron Park Zoo on October 7th, 2017, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. for their annual fundraising event.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Perica. They came before us last week for a public hearing, and it looks like they are doing Oktoberfest, so it seems like it will be a German theme. They don't have all the details yet, but if you're interested, go up on their Facebook page, and they will start to have tickets and all that great stuff available. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 7:23.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned.
I'd like to call the Committee on Capital Improvements and City Development to order at 7:22. Sitting on this committee are Councilors Cooper and Councilor Reynolds. And I have three motions to bring before you this evening. From the docket of June 27, 2017, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to improve the conveyance of the Finberg Field property to the City of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cooper. I don't think there's much to really say about this, other than, it is what it is. And it's a big financial obligation. And it doesn't look like there's any way around it. So somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million to clean up the field. Any other comments? Motion's in order. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes unanimously. From the docket of June 27, 2017, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to approve the final community development block grant in the amount of $583,417.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cooper. happy to hear the number is $100,000 higher than last year. And I really don't have anything more to say about this either, other than the process that we went through this year was terrible. And I promise you that if I'm here next year, that won't happen again. Any other comments? Very good. Motion's in order. All in favor? Aye. The motion passes unanimously. Third, from the docket of June 27, 2017, I entertain a motion to approve the mayor's request to approve the final community development block grant budget.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cooper. I have nothing to add to this. Does anyone else have anything to add? Very good. Motion's in order. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes
This is a
unanimously.
first.
What's that?
I said, this is a first, Council Conti.
Yeah, really. I'm so angry, I'm speechless. I really am. Still very, very angry. We'll let it go with that. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cooper. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I declare the Capital Improvements and City Development Committee adjourned at 7:24. Thank you. You are.
I do. Thank you,
How is that different Ken, from the other one I already have?
The back.
For a minute till we.
Okay. That's for Rick.
Oh, okay.
Why is he so?
Oh, let me just see.
You want to try both?
I don't understand why he's this way.
I just added doing business as
Thank you, Ken.
So Ken, I mean, Jeremy, are you giving me a new one of those?
Federal government.
No, you're good. I gave you the right one already.
And that's the one that I have here?
Lady in my
Is that the right one? Is that the right one?
Wait, hoping to get home, but he didn't.
I just added.
Sure he is now.
One more, do you wanna have Heather sign this one if you want to?
good to go. I call the council meeting back to order at 7:30. Before we begin with the committee reports, I did want to announce that earlier this evening, actually at 6 o'clock, we'd had an executive session, which we had, one of the, that we went into following the designated procedure. I have to announce that there were no votes outside of the vote to come out of the executive session, which we have to do by roll call. And that meeting was held prior to this one tonight. Okay. So for committee reports, let's see, there's only half the committees that have to do it, but I'm going to recognize every chair just so you can call for a committee meeting next time at the appropriate time. So the committee reports will begin with Councilor Delicio, please.
Thank you, President Cook.
You're welcome.
Reporting for ordinances, elections, legislative matters. I have no business tonight, but would like to call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Council Hall.
Yes, I'm reporting for zoning and land use. I have nothing to report at this time, but would like to call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Okay.
Should I?
Do you want to say something about the fireworks?
Sure,
Since,
I would.
4th of July is coming up, and as you know, we had a thing last week. And if there's any news about that, briefly,
Sure.
please.
We will have our Independence Day celebration. I'm trying to stay away from calling it the 4th of July so people won't get confused. It could, because it will be on the 3rd of July, Monday, the 3rd of July. And we have a great group of vendors that are coming. We've tried to incorporate the community even more this year. We have some of our local organizations that will be there helping us out. So I think it's going to be a great community event. We've got the Navy Band Northeast coming in. We've got face painters. We've got special characters. I'm not going to say because I want you all to be surprised that are going to be running around. So the field will begin to be opened and the vendors will begin serving at 5 o'clock. And I know it says 7 o'clock on most of the things that you see, but we will sort of start opening up about 5. So please come out. It'll be a whole lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Conde.
Mr. President, reporting for the Capital Improvements and City Development Committee, I have 3 motions to bring before the council this evening.
Okay.
From the docket of June 27, 2017, I move to approve the mayor's request to approve the conveyance of Finberg Field property to the city of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you. The motion's in order. Are there any comments, please?
Yes, Mr. President, I think for the, seconded by Denley. Just an abbreviation, just explanation of why this motion's in front of the council to the taxpayers, that Finberg Field has been discovered to have an environmental issue which requires a capping. So the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, together with Camp Dresser McGee, have come up with a plan to import gravel and loam to resurface the parking lot area of Finberg Field, together with where the tennis courts used to be and where the farmer's market used to be, to raise the grade about 18 inches, which will be a do not disturb zone. So once the gravel is brought in and the loam is brought in and grass is growing there, or the paving is done for the parking lot, the issue will be remediated to protect the public, and any restrictions will be removed so that Finberg Field will be a safe and happy place to play without any threat from disturbing the soil or digging a hole. And that's really what the issue is. Right now, you cannot dig a hole in Finberg Field, or else you might hit something that you don't want to deal with. So that's the short strokes, and we tried to give it to the ARA, thinking that they might be able to get some money to spend the $750,000 to bring in that fill, and the United States government saw right through that ploy and said no, and so we're winding up with getting it back in the city's responsibility. We're the responsible party. We're going to have to pay to cover that field, and that's the short strokes of that story, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Are there any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Delicio.
Mr. Delicio.
Yes.
Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mrs. Parika.
Yes.
Vice President Denley.
Yes.
Ms. Hagney.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Blair? President Cook?
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
From the docket of June 27, 2017, I move to approve the mayor's request to approve the final community development block grant budget in the amount of $583,417.
Second?
Thank you, the motion's in order. Are there any comments, please?
Yes, Mr. President. A quick explanation for the taxpayers to understand that this amount going into the community development block grant is about $100,000 more than last year, which is a delightful surprise considering we were thinking there was a possibility with what's going on in Washington that we would get zero. So this will fund a great many projects for affordable housing, together with a small amount going to administration and a small amount going to some of the nonprofits in the city. And if anyone in the public would like to get further details, the community development office is here in City Hall, and Dorothy will be happy to answer any questions that you have. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Are there any other concerns or comments at this time? I did have one thing, Mr. Conti.
Yes.
I see this is to approve the final Community Development Block Grant Budget, or CDBG. I also see you have another motion.
Yep.
What is the difference between those two? Or you gonna explain
This
one
this
by one?
motion entitles, we have to take this vote in order for community development to spend the money. Just like in all grants, it has to come through the council and we have to vote it. The next vote is just to approve their budget, just like we approved the city budget.
I just wanted to make sure that the citizens followed all that was going on, so thank you very much for the clarification. We'll be getting to that in just a minute. Any other concerns or comments? Yes, Mr. Cooper.
So I just want to make sure that I was sending the right message, because I think what you might have said, Rick, was it's $100,000 more, but I think what I got from Dorothy when I said, is this amount in line with what you thought we were gonna get? I thought she said it might have been a 3 or a 6% cut,
It was a 3%, it was a 3% reduction.
but it's 100,000 more than they thought they were gonna get, is what you, okay. Just want to make sure that that's,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Hegney?
Yes.
Vice President Denley?
Yes.
Mrs. Parika?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
President Cook?
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
that motion passes.
Thank you, Mr.
You're
President.
welcome.
From the docket of June 27, 2017, I move to approve the mayor's request to approve the final community development block grant budget.
Second?
Thank you, the motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
Yes, Mr. President. Now that they have money, they have a budget. So the budget needs to be approved by the council. I encourage you all to vote yes. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Are there any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Delicio.
Mr. Delicio?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Mrs. Parika?
Yes.
Vice President Denley?
Yes.
Ms. Hegney?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Cook?
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
motion passes.
Mr. President, that concludes the Business Capital Improvement City Development Committee has to bring before the council this evening. We look forward to our next meeting in July.
Thank you. Councilor Baker.
Thank you, President Cook. Reporting for traffic and transportation. I do not have any business this evening, but if I may, just for a moment.
Yep.
I did have individuals scheduled in previous weeks to come and speak about the farmer's market that takes place at O'Connell Field from now until the October 14th from 9 to 1. O'Connell Field is situated between Attleboro High School and Capeland Park Zoo. Unfortunately, they weren't able to attend, so I'm giving them a little shout out right now. There's only 16 more weeks. We start the year off with 18 and work our way back, so there's 16 more weeks. Many of my fellow counselors have been there and have enjoyed their time, and I hope that the community will come out, follow us, and you'll see what different events we have going. Other than that, that concludes my business here, and call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time, which unfortunately won't be until August. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Vice President Denley.
Thank you, President Cook.
You're welcome.
Reporting for the Committee on Licenses, I do have two motions tonight from the docket of June 20th, excuse me, 2017. I move to approve the application for a 2017 Hawkers and Peddlers license and to ring a bell from Paul Piatelli, 80 North Washington Street, North Attleboro, Mass. 02760.
Second?
Thank you, the motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
Yes, this is Dell's Lemonade, and they have a truck now, so they will be driving and selling Dell's lemonade. That is all.
Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, this matter requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
Also from the docket of June 20th, 2017, I entertain a motion to approve the Friends of Capron Park Zoo's request for a waiver to serve alcoholic beverages on city property at Capron Park Zoo on October 7th, 2017, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. for their annual fundraising event.
Second?
Thank you. The motion's in order. Are there any additional comments, please?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any concerns or comments? Hearing none, this matter requires a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you, President Cook.
You're welcome.
Once again, I do have two motions that will need to be handled in July. However, Mr. Conti will be acting license chair, so I expect those should not be a problem. I call for a meeting at the next appropriate time in July, and then I will be back in August.
Thank you. Councilor Hagney.
Thank you. According to Budget and Appropriations, there is no business this evening and call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Reynolds.
Thank you. You're welcome. Reporting for city property and claims, I have one motion from the docket of June 27, 2017. I move in accordance with section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro to approve the mayor's request to accept the donation of 30 Dell flat screen monitors to the school district from Castle Booze Associates as donations to the city of Attleboro.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
No, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and we just thank them for their donation.
Okay, thank you. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, this matter also requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
That is all the business city property and claims has this evening, but I would like to call a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor, Councilor Cooper.
Thank you. Reporting for Personnel and Human Services from the docket of June 27th, 2017. I move to approve the mayor's request to transfer $725 from Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to Council on Aging salary and wages to pay Council on Aging salaries for the remainder of fiscal year 17.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
No, we talked about it in committee and didn't have any questions at that time.
Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Agney.
Yes.
Vice President Denley.
Yes.
Mrs. Parika.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I move to approve the mayor's request to transfer $3,500 from recreation salary and wages to recreation lights and power to pay invoices for lights and power for the remainder of fiscal year 17.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
We spoke about this a mere half an hour ago, and there weren't any questions or comments at that time.
Okay, thank you. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Delissio.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mrs. Parika.
Yes.
Vice President Denley.
Yes.
Ms. Hegney.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Ms. Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes.
I move to approve the mayor's request to transfer $1,500 from recreation salary and wages to recreation supplies, recreation grounds to purchase supplies to replenish stock used for spring spruce ups.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Are there any comments?
Again, no, we just spoke about it about a half an hour ago in committee, and there were no questions.
Very good. Thank you. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Ms. Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Hegney.
Yes.
Vice President Denley.
Yes.
Mrs. Parika.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes.
11 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That concludes the business for Personnel and Human Services, but we'd call for a committee meeting next week at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Jackson.
Thank you, Mr.
You're
President.
welcome.
Reporting for Public Works Committee from the docket of June 27, 2017. I move to approve the mayor's request to transfer $2,700 from the backwash holding tank other financing uses account to the Water Enterprise Fund other financing sources account to close the backwash holding tank fund because the auditing department has been notified by acting water superintendent that this project is complete.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
Thank you. Just happy to be adding equity to this account.
Okay,
It's always good to put it back where it came from.
thank you. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Delicio.
Mr. Delissio.
Yes.
Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Mrs. Parika.
Yes.
Vice President Denley.
Yes.
Mrs. Hegney.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes,
11 yeas, 0 nays.
motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no further business this evening for Public Works Committee, but would like to call for a committee meeting at the appropriate time in July. And I wish all my fellow councilors wonderful vacations. The two of you in the month of July, enjoy your time away from the city of Attleboro for a little while. We welcome you back.
Thank you. Councilor Blair.
Thank you, President Cook.
welcome.
Reporting for Public Safety and Emergency Management. I have no business this evening, but would request a committee meeting next month at the appropriate time.
Thank you. At this point, I'm going to call upon Councilor Parika for new business. She has several new business items, so I don't know if you wanted to introduce the first one and then make comments that would cover all the rest of them,
That is
or
exactly.
vice versa.
That I would prefer to call the first one, make my comments, and then move along swiftly
Okay.
after that, if that's okay with
That
you,
would be fine.
President Cook.
Okay.
Thank you. I have 7 motions of new business this evening, and my first motion, I move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for further study and recommendation. Prohibit all parking along the eastern side of Riverfront Drive between Wall Street and Olive Street by amending section 10-5.2A of the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro, prohibited on certain streets, amended 7/23/15 by inserting the following: Riverfront Drive, easterly side from Wall Street to Olive Street.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Any comments, please? Well, how do you want to handle
I
this?
would like, so I think in the essence of time, I'll make my comments now and we'll just move right along. And first and foremost, I did not refer, I'm not necessarily sure who the ward counselor is, and I did not actually consult them with regards to this. This kind of came through traffic study, so please accept my apologies for the ward counselor, because I try and make it a habit of doing that. My apologies. During our last traffic study commission meeting, Lance Hill, director at DPW, reviewed with the entire traffic study commission the layout for Riverfront Drive. That should be opening at some point in July. We do have some signs that are out there that may or may not be necessarily accurate, and we wanted to just kind of tighten up the business in that area and get everything on the books so that when we're up and rolling, everything will be fine. Now, due to I'm going to Ireland in July, we're calling for a public hearing, or President Cook will be calling for a public hearing in August for this, so that we'll be able to manage this and get the appropriate signage out there in as speedy of time as we can. Through the analysis of Riverfront Drive, the eastern side of Riverfront Drive, there's no parking at all, or that will be the request. And it's the road is designed that way. On the opposite side, there are about 63 parking spots, and we wanted to restrict them in an appropriate manner that provides people plenty of time to come in and enjoy the park, but not encourage individuals who may operate on the train to park there as well. It's something that we were trying to keep that in mind. In addition to that, there are stop signs at either end of the road, and we needed to, that's P6 and 7. So that'll be the recommendation for stop signs at either end of Riverfront Drive. And so as you hear the business coming through, those are what the recommendations are. I do have the support of the Traffic Study Commission. We kind of vetted this out with regards to timeframes and what we think would work. And kind of the motto of it was, we'll start here. And if we have to make amendments to it or change it out at a later date, then we can do that. But let's start here. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions or concerns at this point? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passed. I'm going to refer that to the Transportation and Traffic Committee. At the same time, also the public hearing, as Ms. Parika just explained. I'm going to ask if you want to call for a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15th at 7 o'clock.
Yes, President Cook, thank you.
Is there a second? Thank you. Vice President Denley. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. That hearing will be on that date. I did want to ask you, I know you referenced the Traffic Study Commission. Does this have to be referred to them, or have they
It does
already
not.
played into it?
This
That's
is,
what I thought.
this came through Superintendent Hill to the Traffic Study Commission, and they made their recommendation from there, which sponsored the new business. So it does not need to be referred back to them. I already have their recommendation.
Very good.
Thank you.
So as we go through the next 6, there will be the vote by all of us. We will be calling for a public hearing on all of these. It'll be the same date, and they're all going to be going to that committee, but I'm gonna have to repeat that as we go along.
Multiple times.
Okay? So if you have any questions as you go along, just let me know.
Thank you. I move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for study and recommendation. Prohibit all parking along the western side of Riverfront Drive between Olive Street and the existing parking area along the street approximately, 350 feet north of Olive Street by amending section 10-5.2A of the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro, prohibited on certain streets, amended 7/23/15, by inserting the following: Riverfront Drive, westerly side, from the intersection of Olive Street, 350 feet north.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. Are there any comments?
So for these, it's that, that first bit of road from Olive Street into Riverfront Drive where there is there's no ability for people to be able to park there, but we want to make sure that that's in the ordinance book and it's enforceable in the event people are standing there.
Thank you. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. I'll be referring that to the Transportation Traffic Committee,
You don't need to do that. You
That's
don't
right.
need to refer it.
to your committee.
Oh, to my committee, I'm sorry.
That's what I meant.
I heard it the wrong way.
Transportation
You certainly can do that. That would be great.
Traffic. Without trying to stand
I
alone.
know, I was thinking
Right.
Traffic Study Commission,
You're
my
on an
apologies.
island.
I am.
Oh, it is referred to the Transportation Traffic Committee, and again, would like to call for a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15th.
Yes, please?
Second.
Thank you. The motion's in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion passed. The hearing will also be on that date.
Thank you. I move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for further study and recommendation. Prohibit all parking along the western side of Riverfront Drive between Wall Street and the existing parking area along the street approximately 450 feet south of Wall Street by amending section 10-5.2A of the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro, prohibited on certain streets, amended 7/23/15, by inserting the following: Riverfront Drive, westerly side, from the intersection of Wall Street, 450 feet south.
Second.
Thank you. The motion's in order. Are there any comments?
I do not.
Thank you. Anybody have any concerns? No comments. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. I'm going to refer that to the Transportation Traffic Committee. Would like to call for a public hearing Tuesday, August 15th.
Yes, please?
Second.
Thank you. The motion's in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. That hearing will be on the 15th.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for further study and recommendation: to place a time limit restriction on the existing parking along Riverfront Drive as follows: 3-hour parking only, by amending section 10-5.3 of the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro, time limited on designated places, amended 5/7/2013 and 8/21/2014, by inserting the following: no person shall park a vehicle for longer than 3 hours at any time on the following streets: Riverfront Drive, in designated spots only.
Second.
Thank you. The motion's in order. Are there any comments, please?
There's a small typo in that where it says, quote, "you," so wait,
Okay, can you correct me what that is? Are you taking that "you" out?
yes, please,
So there's no "you"?
no.
No, all right, hold on a second. No "you," okay. Got it. So I'll just accept that as a friendly amendment,
Thank you
obviously.
very much.
Okay, and the second was by Councilor Denley, so the motion is in order. Are there any additional comments?
So as I stated previously, just very briefly, we discussed at length during the Traffic Study Commission how long we felt was an appropriate time for people to be on Riverfront Drive. 2 hours seemed too short, 6 hours seemed too long. We made it so that it's 3 hours all the time. Whether it's, Saturdays or Sundays, we didn't make any, it's just 3 hours across the board. There are many places in the city where it's Monday through Friday or things like that, but we decided that it was best to just make it unified for 3 hours all the time, 24 hours a day.
Okay, thank you. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion passes. I'm going to refer that to the Transportation and Traffic Committee. And again, which is to call for a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15th.
Yes, please?
Second.
Thank you, the motion is in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Before we go on to the next one, I just wanted to make sure I have these all in the correct order. Could you just, the very first one that you did was prohibit all parking on the eastern side of Riverfront Drive?
Easterly side of, from Wall Street to Olive Street.
From Wall Street to Olive Street. That was the first one that you did? Okay.
Correct.
The second one?
Westerly side from the intersection of Olive Street, 350 feet north.
That's what I think, between Olive Street and 250 feet north.
350.
350 feet north. And then the third one that you did was the one just now.
Westerly side from the
Westerly side.
intersection of Wall Street, 450 feet south. I had a lot of help.
That was your
frankly,
third one,
so-
got it,
Oh,
okay,
Lance did a really good job.
okay.
And then the last one was
Was
the
the one with
3
the-
hours.
Right, okay, thank you. I just, trying to write down all these things, I just wanna make sure that I had them in the right order, so,
Okay.
very good, thank you. Ready to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for further study and recommendation, with the exception of existing parking along the street, prohibited stopping and/or standing vehicles along Riverfront Drive by amending section 10-5.2B of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, prohibited on certain streets adopted 4/1/2014, by adding the following: Riverfront Drive between Olive Street and Wall Street, except in designated parking spaces.
Second.
Thank you, the motion is in order. Are there any comments, please?
So one of the things that the traffic study and Lance and myself were concerned about is that individuals who are getting picked up from the train, that there'll be people that'll line up on either side of the road in a standing, standing waiting, causing a traffic jam and causing, safety concerns, that we really don't want anyone in there standing or waiting. So that's what this part of the ordinance is.
Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed, and refer that to Transportation and Traffic. And again, would you like to call for a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15th?
I would.
Second.
Thank you, the motion's in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion passes.
Thank you. I move two more.
Two more.
I move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for further study and recommendation. Install a stop sign on Riverfront Drive on the southbound approach to Olive Street by amending section 10-4.11 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, isolated stop signs amended 7/23/2015, by inserting the following: southbound drivers on Riverfront Drive at Olive Street.
Second.
Thank you, the motion is in order. Are there any comments,
I
please?
think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. Any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes, and we refer that to Transportation and Traffic Committee. And again, we'll just go for a public hearing on Tuesday, August 15th.
Yes, please.
Second.
Thank you. The motion is in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And finally, I move to refer the following item to the appropriate committee for further study and recommendation. Install a stop sign on Riverfront Drive on the northbound approach to Wall Street by amending section 10-4.11 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, isolated stop signs amended 7/23/2015, by inserting the following: northbound drivers on Riverfront Drive at Wall Street.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Are there any comments?
No, thank you.
Are there any other concerns or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed, and referred to the Transportation and Traffic Committee. And again, we'll have to call for public hearing on Tuesday, August 15th.
I would.
Second.
Thank you, the motion is in order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. That does conclude the business for the council, not only for this evening, but hopefully for the fiscal year. I hope that you all have some time to relax before you reconvene on Tuesday, July the 18th. And hope you all are safe, and for those of you traveling, safe as you travel, and come back refreshed, and have to do it all over again in another few weeks. Thank you, Mr. Withers and Mr. Owens. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, the motion's in order. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion passes. We're adjourned at 7:59. Thank you very much. Enjoy the summer, and have a great trip.
Thank you very much. Have a great vacation.
John, where are you going?
It's our 7th wedding anniversary, so we are going on a cruise to Bermuda.
Oh.
Now Boston.
Jules, is this